So this first track we're looking at is The Bakery. It's a restaurant in Tatsfield, and I used to go here sort of quite a lot when I was younger. And you know, we used to sit down and have family dinners there and stuff, and it's a nice place. So I kind of wanted to, but those days are kind of over now, and I sort of wanted to get that sort of through, get that sort of point across in this particular piece. So obviously after creating the melodies within the restaurant, I sort of came up with this, and so the beginning is largely sort of, this is rain. This was sort of taken outside of sort of the bakery and sort of the surrounding area, and sort of the main pad that was used within this was actually made using a dead fly. So I used pretty much additive synthesis with this. So I pretty much, the fly you can see is on one of the oscillators. This is why I like Alchemy, because you can load in sort of any sort of sound that you've recorded or anything, and you can sort of pitch it to the way you want it. And what's cool is that you can almost pick a reflective sort of pad, as it were, and you can just add your own sounds into these pads, and you can sort of create something that's really quite unique, which is kind of what I did here. So the fly itself is quite so that was basically pitched down, and then added basically just with a load of reverb, really. And then when you add, then what I've done on my other oscillators, I've sort of added to this. Anyway, that's how I made that. The fly, yeah, sort of pitched down, stretched, and sort of play with it with a little bit of sort of in Ableton, a little bit sort of through my sound design chain. The lead itself is just the piano. So it's just a classic piano that you get in Logic. The sort of these little cool little sounds that you can hear in the background here. So one of them is the lead, which is made out of a vocal, obviously, that was passing this. I think we passed a walker and they were talking, and I cut that up. Let's start with this one though. That is that's actually a sub bass that I made. I think that was sort of made out of, it's basically a pitched up sub bass that's been distorted. So the sub bass was made, I think, from footsteps, I think, using sort of granulator synthesis, and that's sort of the way that was made. All the little Foley bits that you can hear are sort of dry sort of gate sounds, and that's actually a field gate, and that's pretty much it. And then the kick you can hear is obviously not made, it's just something that I found. So this is the field, and My relationship with this place is a very sort of fond one. When I was young, I used to sledge. Basically, this field used to get covered in snow, and it was really steep. I used to be able to sort of just like, you know, sledge down it when I was little, and I wanted to sort of catch that sort of fun in my melodies that I created in the field, and sort of, and also in sort of the way that the pads in this song constantly sort of flow and move, and which is that's kind of the idea that I wanted to bring out in this particular piece. So there's a lot that goes on in the background of this. So let me just jump right into we're going into the background first, because I think that's where all the Foley and all the recording stuff and all the manipulated stuff sort of lies. So let's start with some sticks. So these are just sticks that I found in the field, that we were just walking on, me and my videographer, and you know, it was sort of a quite nice, which we just sort of pitched, which I sort of just pitched to fit in with the track, and add a little bit of distortion onto that. In the background you can hear sort of a car that sort of comes along. So the way this field works is obviously you basically have this pathway, and cars drive along it, and that's a sound that I'm extremely used to. So it's basically just side chain to the kick, so it comes in, sort of fills in the background noise, which is quite nice. But it's just the sort of this sort of casual sort of car coming through. This is obviously in the chorus. So that's the car, and then this is I think that's more sticks, just distorted sticks, and the overall lead sort of in this track is actually my dog. I used to walk my dog in this field loads. There's sort of raw recordings of my dog, and also sort of so that's just him pitched to I think he was pitched to C2, and then sort of that allowed me just to sort of play around with it really, and just basically put it in instead of the melody, really, just so the melody was dun 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 dun, and then just put the dogs barking it, really. It's quite nice. That's pretty much this track. You've obviously got the piano, the raw piano that comes in. That's just literally what I recorded in the field, what I played in the field, and the lead melody is again is just more. It's just my dog barking again, and this is some gates again, some field gates that are in the field that I walk. So. But yeah, that's pretty much the bare bones of this track, to be honest. Final track that I'm going to look at on this particular EP, these 3 tracks from Tatsfield, the place I grew up. So St Mary's Church is a church that's sort of located just off the centre of Tatsfield, and it's where I used to go and spend time when I was again a child. I used to do sort of Christingles and stuff there, and I used to have like Christmas sort of festival events and stuff like that. Sort of, we used to go there on Christmas, and that was a really nice place to visit, and I haven't been back there for ages, and it was nice. It was really nice to go back. People there were very friendly and greeted me very well. But this track is really largely, everything in this track is pretty much taken from the church, apart from I've used more of the field gates from Tatsfield in this again, but most of it is made from the fly that actually I found, the dead fly in the church, and it's also made out of church pews, the creaking of church pews. It's made from rain, which was outside. It was made from opening of the Bibles that were in there, and the lead synth, this one here, is actually made from a hymn that I recorded, and I sort of just stretched it. It was I can't remember exactly which hymn it was, but it was basically just stretched and pitched, and it sounded really nice, and very reflective and sort of calming, which is kind of my sort of feelings towards the church, which is really nice. So obviously a lot of this is just raw piano, which I've done on purpose because the church is a very natural place. It feels quite organic being there, quite natural, so natural sounds of natural sort of feelings towards this place was necessary, I feel, to create in this track. So but I'll play all the little Foley bits, all the little sort of bits you can hear in between, because all that really happens in the main slog is, the main chorus is literally just the lead and bit of bass. But here you go, sort of play some of this. So it's all sort of sounds that are taken from the church. This is the Bible. Like that, which is quite nice. And then in the midst of everything, it's just sort of adds for a nice sort of beat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in the next video we're looking at Brighton and the 3 songs that are in there. Cool. Thanks very much, guys.